Hey you guys, today I'm going to be planting a topsy-turvy tomato plant. I'm going to show everybody how it's done. It's really easy. I picked up this tomato seedling here from the hardware store. This plant is called patio tomato, and basically it's going to be short. It's going to be like maybe 2 feet tall, and it puts out the fruits at that height. So that's ideal for topsy-turvy. They want you to use a small variety or a bush variety. Sometimes they call it a dwarf plant because you don't want your plant to be growing all the way down to the ground and touching the ground. It kind of defeats the purpose of hanging it up. And the other thing is right here, you see how long that stem is? I actually pruned off a couple of leaves that were midway up here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant this with dirt going all the way up the stem as far as I can up to these leaves up here. And what that's going to do is it's going to give it a stronger root system, because tomato plants, they will actually sprout anywhere that dirt is touching them. So if you bury it deeper, like up here, then all of this here will become roots, and that'll give it a better head start. It'll have a stronger root system, and that's a really, really good thing. Okay, so in the last video I showed you how this topsy-turvy works. So in this video I'm just going to show you how to actually put this in there. First off, you just take this and unfold it like that. And once you got it all unfolded, you take this little foam thing out of the planter, just punch it through. And for your seedling, all you got to do is you squeeze the sides, like you squeeze this way, and then you turn it around and you squeeze that way. And that kind of loosens it so you can get it out. Then you just turn it over in your hand like this, and you dump it out. It should come out like this, nice and neat in your hand. So now that we have it out, we're going to take the foam, and you just put it around the stem where you want the dirt to stop, which for us is up here. Okay, because that's how high I said I was going to go with the dirt. And here's another thing, if you look really close at this, you can see how the roots kind of went and did a shape thing, like they're the shape of the container. You don't want to leave them like that because they'll be all root bound and everything. You want to make them spread out so that they'll reach out and touch other bits of soil and grow outward. So once you get this inside the planter, you're going to reach inside and you're going to kind of loosen up all the roots so they're kind of stringy and hanging out. And then you put the soil in. That way they'll be growing more freely. Okay, so getting this into the planter, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can, if it's a really small seedling, like those really little bitty nursery ones, then you can actually put it through here, dirt first, and then come through the other side and put the foam rubber on the base of the plant. But with our plant, we're going to have to go in leaves first through the bigger end back here of this planter, because the roots are obviously too big to fit through that tiny hole up there. And we're basically just going to feed the leaves through it very, very carefully. Okay, so here we go. You put it in like this, through the top. So you're just going to reach in like this, and you're going to grab hold of the stems and leaves and guide them through very, very, very gently. You don't want to break anything. And I think we got most of them out now. Hold on. There's one. Okay, yeah, we got it. Alright, we're in business. And just bring it on through. So now from this side, you're going to have to fit that little foam thing back into place like that. And there you go. So now we got the plant there hanging out the end. And like I said, now we're looking through the actual planter to where the roots are inside here. You got to go like this and kind of loosen up the roots. So, you know, to kind of break them free, because you don't want them all bound up like that. See that? See how they're all loose now and basically just hanging out everywhere? So now you're going to hold it up like this with the plant hanging down, and you're going to take some potting soil. You're going to fill this up. Not all the way, because you want to put some kind of a fertilizer in there, which I'm going to do in just a second. But anyway, when you put the potting soil in, use something that you can scoop with. I don't have an actual dirt scooper, so I'm just going to use this. But you put it in 1 scoop at a time, You don't want to pour the whole entire bag in there all at once because you can mess up the roots, and you don't want to break anything or bend anything with all that heavy weight of all this soil pouring in on top of it. Alright, so now that I've got mine halfway full, I'm going to show you what I like to fertilize with. This is called Job's Fertilizer Spikes, and as you can see, it's specially formulated for tomatoes. And the thing I really like about it is that it feeds your plants for 8 weeks. So you don't have to worry about doing it again. I mean, you just do it every 2 months, basically. Okay, so this is what they look like. They kind of look like little flat pieces of chalk. Well, partially flattened anyway. And they're really, really hard, and they're sort of gritty, actually. But you just shove them into the dirt. So I'm going to show you how. I'm just going to put 2 down in the dirt here. There's 1. Just push it in. And here's 2 on the opposite end. And that's all you have to do. So now I'm going to fill this bag up the rest of the way. Alright, and there we have it. A nice topsy-turvy plant, all fertilized and ready to plant outside. So there's my tomato plant hanging out in my backyard. And there's the street outside my back porch, so you're going to hear cars going by because it's usually a pretty busy road. Anyway, this planter's kind of hanging at an angle because I have it at a tilt up at the top until I can get a more solid hook up there in the beam. So this is just temporary, but it'll do for now. And I'll update after I see any big changes in the plant.